I'm here with Jay Gray with Discover America. Hi, Jay.
Hi, how are you doing, Charlie?
Great. Tell us about Discover America, please.
DiscoverAmerica.com is a cooperative agreement that we've entered into with the Department of Commerce back in February of this year. They are funding the development of a website that's going to be targeted to 5 countries, and those initial 5 markets are Germany, UK, Canada, Mexico, and Japan. These websites, each one of these websites will be fully translated for the in-market consumer, and also localized so that the imagery and message will resonate with that particular consumer in country.
And these websites are expected to be launched when?
Next year, February 2008. So we have a lot of work to do before we actually go live.
And the funding is for just the setting up, and you have to maintain the funding thereon, or is it multi-year funding?
Yeah, we wish it was, but actually this cooperative agreement is for 2 years, so the actual agreement ends at the end of next year. And at that point, the website has to be self-sustaining from a revenue standpoint, yes.
Purely government on this?
No, actually, as part of the cooperative agreement, TIA had to come up with at least 25% of the value of the cooperative agreement. So we actually put some of our own revenue into this agreement, as well as our members and partners such as Yahoo stepped up with media, online media purchasing. Fodor stepped up to provide a lot of the content. American Express stepped up with some of their packages and that kind of thing. So it's been very helpful with our members and friends of the industry to support this.
And the promotion of these in those 5 markets you identified, what's the strategy of getting eyeballs to those sites?
Marketing it in country. Well, unfortunately, with the limited funds that we have, we're going to rely heavily on search engine optimization and search engine marketing. Again, using our friends at Yahoo and Google to help us develop the site in such a way that it ranks very high within their search engines. We find from some of the consumer focus groups that we've done in country that they rely very much on the search engines, Google and Yahoo in particular, when they're starting to do their online research. So if we can rely on search engine optimization along with some search engine marketing, that will be our initial marketing campaign. We'll also rely on some of the Visit USA in-country organizations to help spread the word out through their membership as well.
In terms of the content that will be part of the site and the accessibility or the method for accessing, is there anything unique about the content or the way people will be able to access it?
Oh, that's a great question. Much of the content will come from Fodors or directly from states and destinations. We will develop a single website, a single English website with all of the content. We will also tag which content goes to which market based on consumer research that we've done about what that consumer in that market is interested in. From that point, the tagged information will get pushed out to a separate website. Let's take Japanese, for instance, and all the information in this English website will be translated and pushed out to the Japanese website. The great thing about that is as content gets updated, we make the content changes in English on this website, and within hours or however quickly we decide, it will automatically get updated in each one of those languages.
And this is information about destinations. Does this go to the point of helping people build itineraries?
Absolutely. Building itineraries, finding out about the destinations, contacting local travel agents and tour operators that can assist them. And one of the key things that we want to do with this site, not only do we want to create a welcoming message for the consumers in each of these markets, but we want to provide them with the know before you go information that comes from the Department of Commerce and State Department. The tips on getting here, translated and practical information, so to dispel some of the myths about the difficulties it is to get into the U.S.
America, as and the stakeholders that make available and promote the destinations within America have always been stayed away from, by law very often, from being able to facilitate bookings, reservations. While some of these destinations overseas, in Europe in particular, they actively get involved with that process. Where are we now in terms of Discover America, of streamlining from information? Now I've figured out, you helped me figure out where to go, what to do, how to get there. Now what do I have to go through to go book and buy something?
Well, that's a great question. Again, the consumer end markets vary greatly about how they come to the U.S. and how they transact that purchase and which channels they use. Canadians, for instance, who come to the U.S. often may not need as much assistance from a travel agent or a tour operator, and if they don't, we want to be able to facilitate that on this website. And if they would like to book, for instance, a hotel room or whatnot, we certainly want to be able to handle that transaction. By far and away, Japan, for instance, and Germany and these others, and particularly the first-time traveler who's coming to the U.S., who we're really focusing on, we're really trying to grow market share with this website, are going to need assistance. So after they've found their information, they've got their itinerary, they know where they want to go and what they want to do, we don't anticipate that they're going to be able to transact that purchase. So we're going to hand them off to the local tour operator or travel agent to help facilitate that transaction from that point forward.
Well, you kind of answered partially my next question, which was the role of the travel trade, and as you identified, an example of a market. Let's go to Europe for a moment, because are a very large market for us, for America. Travel trade, how does that fit in for Europe?
This website is primarily consumer-based, so we are speaking to the consumer. We will have links off for particular trade, for travel trade, press, that kind of thing. But this is a consumer-focused site. The navigation, the site maps, all of that are going to be centered around the consumer in market, how they're purchasing, where are they going, the channel that they use to make that purchase. We're looking at all of that and to drive the consumer to the U.S. So travel and trade will be a secondary consideration for this website.
Right. So you empower. This is a content empowerment for the consumer.
Absolutely. To inform them, to welcome them to the U.S., to reinforce a favorable image of the U.S. abroad, and to help facilitate that. And again, if they're interested in making the transaction, we want to hand them off to those local travel agents and tour operators in country to facilitate that.
Best of luck with the project, and congratulations to TIA, yourself, for pulling this off.
Thank you very much.